SportsBeat.
All right, Utah Jazz continued their road warrior stretch all 3 games this week away from home.
There was a heartbreaker north of the border. Their biggest win after trailing at halftime in franchise history happened in Cleveland, and another comeback in Motor City. Let's rewind.
You know, seeing them on the top of the Eastern Conference is, like I said, is not a surprise.
Chicago Sunday night. Ingles high floater, put it home, Rudy. You bet. And a bucket on the other end. Favors with an easy layup. And Favors cuts his Toronto lead to 2. Here's Ingles. Has the ball taken away. Siakam with the hammer. This first half. Donovan double pumps. Puts up the shot. Throws it home. You bet. Count it. Kawhi, left hand. Tough shot. And put it down.
He's capable of scoring, you know, on all 3 levels.
Career numbers for Kawhi Leonard.
It's that easy for Gobert, who loses the shoe. Hurry up, it's 5-on-4. Spin dribble, Leonard, Siakam. Be quick, but don't hurry.
For 3. Oh, yeah. Burns an edge for 3 more. Jay Crowder.
Jay was hot and got it going. It's unfortunate that we, you know, didn't capitalize on the night that he had.
It's going to be good to play against them, and we know what they like to do.
They're 2 talented players, great guys, great teammates, man, you know, great people.
We want to see have success, and obviously not too much success tonight.
You know, it'll be a little different to see him on a scouting report and to see him on an opposing team. There's going to be a little bit of something there with that.
Here's Hood. First time he's touched the ball, straddles the 3-point line, fires a 3. Brooks pumps up a 3 and throws it home straight away.
They'll take it.
Hood with 9, 21-5 run. Jazz have just owned the second half. Crowder straight away 3. Oh, that has to feel good.
That's salty, too.
That is salty. A team kind of a feel-good win. It was a tough and frustrating first half, but the Jazz got it together.
Those 2, AB and Rodney, those are my guys, man. I think it's pretty special, you know, for Kyle to come back and get a warm reception, Jay as well. The fact that we got the win was pretty special as well.
Welcome to Little Caesars Arena in the Motor City of Detroit. The Jazz make a stop in Detroit tonight. Reggie Bullock from North Carolina. Bullock, the second 3 of the quarter. Bullock, that's 4 threes in the quarter. Donovan running to the rim. Goes down on the baseline to Tabo. Beautiful. And turns and throws it home. The lead is down to 4. Ball comes loose and a steal by Drummond. There's another takeaway.
I don't know who that was in the first half, man. It was an embarrassment to me and my teammates, you know, and my teammates just right there with me, have my back.
Such a good decision maker on this drive right here, going close to the shot blocker, not giving them a chance.
Here comes Donovan around the corner. Up it goes, floater, count it. Mitchell, 17.
I'm saying it's my time right now. There's only one guy guarding me. I've got the advantage.
Griffin nearly threw it away and does. Donovan has it. Cross-court pass to Korver. Fires up a 3. Fire! Picked up by Crowder. No looker. Joe, 3. Yes! Wow. Oh! Right on. Right on cue. It's a 5-point advantage. Donovan in the paint, drives, hangs, and drops it home. Down to 9. Donovan drives in on Drummond. Stop, pump, Jake. Good! Wow. 26 for Mitchell. 18 points down. A 13-point first. The Jazz battled back. And as I said, dynamic win in Detroit tonight.
All right, today's action, Lakers, T-Wolves, L.A. without LeBron or Kyle Kuzma. T-Wolves, Andrew Wiggins doing the damage early. The alley-oop from Tyus Jones. Wiggins, 25 points in the first half. Finished with 28. Then Karl Anthony Towns takes over. Jeff Teague finds him for the facial over JaVale McGee. Towns with 28 points, 18 boards. T-Wolves beat the Lakers by 22. Then Minnesota fires head coach Tom Thibodeau. Scott Layden remains the T-Wolves GM, at least for now.
I didn't think he'd get any more grumpier than that, but he probably is right now. The Orlando Magic in L.A. to face the Clippers. Aaron Gordon is worth the price of admission, doing what he does best. But this game was dominated by the Clippers. Wouldn't Tobias Harris look good in a Utah Jazz uniform? He's a free agent next summer. He had 28 points, 9 rebounds. The Clippers are 23-16, 4th best record in the West. Big game in the East. Raptors hosting the Pacers. Let's check in with former Ute star DeLon Wright. Nice finger roll, the nasty crossover in the lane. Teammates were impressed, especially Pascal Siakam. DeLon played 25 minutes, 10 points on 4 of 8 shooting, 2 for 2 from 3, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. That's a great stat line. Raptors hit the 30-win mark, first team in the league to do so.
Great clips of the week.
Okay, now, moments before kickoff of the Sugar Bowl, this would be a good photo op, they said. It would be fun, they said. The Texas mascot, a 1,700-pound steer, Bevo, and a 30-pound bulldog from Georgia is the mascot, Uga. Bevo the steer just wanted no part of that photo op, right?
That's a mismatch.
Yeah, didn't want that pup, and so, get out of here. And they said it wasn't because the pup was there. He just got a little irritated. Yeah, okay.
I don't blame him with all those cameras. All right, in the Rose Bowl, Washington, Ohio State, the ref showing some skill. Look at the vertical on this guy. Yeah. Taking care of that balloon. Heaven forbid there be a balloon on the field. Get that out of here. He's on the case. All right, there's several NBA teams that aren't trying for Zion, hoping to get a chance to draft Duke star Zion Williamson. There's another example of why. This is a college freshman in a college game with a 360 slam. He was hard on himself, only gave it a 7 out of 10. Everyone's a critic, even him.
When the Jazz play the Bucks tomorrow in Milwaukee, it'll be a battle of the dunkers.
Giannis, oh my goodness.
The Frenchman and the Greek freak in a race to break the NBA dunk record. We have the dunk by dunk tale of the tape.
I mean, as good as he was as a coach, he was a great father.
Friends, former players, and coaches honoring former Weber State head basketball coach Ron A. Beckman, joining on the celebration of his life when we return.
You're watching SportsBeat, the Murdoch Automotive no regrets play of the game.
And John Collins.
All right, check out Dwayne Wade.
Oh, back to Jones. What a play.
How about Dwayne Wade, the lob to Derrick Jones Jr. Now, D-Wade had the layup, but without even looking back, a perfect lob to Jones Jr. That is impressive of how spot on he was without even looking.
It helps when you got one of the best dunkers in the league trailing you.
There you go. Well, the Jazz are in Milwaukee tomorrow to face the Bucks. And speaking of dunkers, we get to watch 2 of the best in the NBA.
In fact, Rudy Gobert and Giannis Antetokounmpo both have a chance to set an NBA record for dunks in an NBA season. And we're here for this. We're tracking this race each and every week.
And what is most amazing about this is the way you pronounce his name perfectly. Let's start with last night. Gobert against the Pistons. Rudy throwing down a couple of dunks in the comeback win over Detroit.
Bad pass turned into it.
Oh, thoughts and prayers to the guy he dunked on. Giannis wins the battle of the dunk of the week versus the Pistons Tuesday. Had 2 dunks in that game. My goodness.
Let's go Friday against Cavs. Not many for Rudy. But he got the alley-oop from Rubio in the first quarter, and that was pretty much it as the Jazz won that one big.
And Giannis showed why he was going to destroy this single-season record against the Raptors. He had 7 dunks in this game, and the Bucks lost. He makes it look so easy.
Rudy's best dunk output this week was Tuesday in Toronto. He had 4 of them in the Jazz loss.
So after this week, here are the numbers for this season. I like it. Rudy versus Giannis. Giannis has 147 through 36 games. He's averaging 4.1 dunks per game, and he's on pace for 336. Rudy has more total dunks with 150, but he's also played 4 more games than Giannis. Rudy's averaging 3.75 dunks per game and is on pace for 307.5.
I'm kind of
not sure
scared
you get a
now.
half dunk, but that's his average.
I'm kind of scared now looking at that.
I like this. This is going to be fun.
It is. All right, Monday night in San Diego, it was a tale of 2 halves for the Utes in the Holiday Bowl with Northwestern.
Do we even have to do this?
We have to.
It's painful.
It's a log. Governor
Painful
Herbert
for Ute
said
fans. Okay.
We got to have it.
Okay, then I'll continue. First half, domination by the Utes. Wildcats couldn't move the ball, and the Utes offense built a 20-3 halftime lead. They were cruising.
Oh, but in the third quarter, it all would come crashing down for Kyle Whittingham and his guys. Let's start with the first half. Jason Shelley, he's going to find Jalen Dixon. 27 yards, perfect, 7-0 Utah. Next possession for Northwestern, 4th and 1. The Utes defense stops him cold. And that would set up Shelley to Jake Jackson, 4-yard touchdown. It's 14-0. Late in the first half, more domination by the Utah defense. Marquise Blair. Off the tip. Picked off. Utes get a field goal. They led by 17 at the half. Then the meltdown started. 4 plays into the third quarter. Shelley picked off by the Wildcats. They would score 2 plays later. Then Utes driving at the Northwestern 6, and this is where it officially came apart.
Scrambling, lost it, loose, picked up. McGee, can he get there? McGee down the sideline. Jared McGee, touchdown Northwestern.
That 17-point lead now down to 3. Next possession for Utah. Again, they're driving. Shelley, perfect pass to Jalen Dixon, but he fumbles it away. 2 plays later, Northwestern would score. 4 turnovers in the third for the Utes, 6 overall. Wildcats with a Holiday Bowl tying record, 28 points in that third, and that was it. Utes bowl game winning streak stopped at 5.
The first half was great, and that's our emotions. That's what we've been doing the last 4 weeks in bowl prep or 3 weeks, whatever it was. And so, you know, we showed what we were like in the first half, and it was just, you know, the second half we kind of just shit the bed. And so, you know, offense was making plays, defense was making plays, and in the second half, and you know, football goes that way sometimes, and we were on the short end of the stick.
Yeah, Cody Barton saying it like it is, huh?
Yeah, not happy, but you know what? It was an exhibition game. I don't think it's going to have an impact on next season.
No, I don't either. All right, 10 years ago, though, much different bowl vibe than what we were feeling Monday in San Diego.
Yeah, let's talk about a happy memory for the Utes. The undefeated Utes went to New Orleans and stunned Alabama to win the 2009 Sugar Bowl. It was 10 years ago this week on the 2nd of January. Utes Sugar Bowl this day in Jazz right here. Nice play.
Asiata.
Remember all these? So Brent Castile, Matt Asiata, Braden Godfrey, and David Reed all scored touchdowns. Brian Johnson was 27 of 41 for 336 yards and 3 touchdowns. No interceptions. The defense was even better, coming up with 2 picks and 8 sacks. Alabama didn't know it hit them as the Utes completed their 13-0 perfect season. Nick Saban tears are still delicious 10 years later.
Yeah, but Nick Saban then said, oh, we really didn't care about this game. It wasn't a big game for us.
Of course they didn't after they got their butts kicked.
All right, to hockey now. The Vegas Golden Knights, they are golden right now. They had won 6 in a row coming into today.
Yeah, a win would move the defending Western Conference champs into a first-place tie in the West with the Calgary Flames. That's right, the Calgary Flames in first place. Hosting the New Jersey Devils on Sunday. 39 points on the season, second worst in the East. Should be an easy win for the Knights, but Ben Lovejoy gave the Devils a 2-0 lead. The Knights rally, though. Ryan Reeves with the steal. Scores 3 minutes later. Shoots and scores. Let's go to the second period. The Knights stay hot. Braden McNabb. After a review, the goal is good. They tie it up later in the second. Max Pacioretty gives Vegas the lead, completing the comeback. That's how it would end. Malcolm Subban, 36 saves and goal. The Knights are 17-3-3 since November 21st.
Here at home, the Utah Grizzlies made it a sweep of the Wichita Thunder in the 4-3 win in overtime last night. Utah's Jack Walker, after the fight, had the goal in overtime to make it a sweep. They now have 44 points in the standings, 4th best in the ECHL. Grizzlies hit the road for 3 straight beginning Wednesday in Cincinnati.
Utah women's basketball trying to bounce back after the heartbreaking loss to Arizona State. Point guard Drew Gilton had a double-double, 10 points and 10 assists, feeding Megan Huff, who had 16 points and 13 rebounds, her 4th straight double-double. And they get a career day from Kiana Moore. She led the team with 19 points. She was 5 of 6 from 3. The Utes win this one 80-64. Now 13-1 on the season, 2-1 in conference play. They visit the Washington schools Friday and Sunday. All right, 2.5 weeks ago, former Weber State head basketball coach Ron A. Beglin passed away at the age of 81. In his 8 seasons as head coach of the Wildcats, Beglin became the 3rd winningest coach in Weber State history.
Last night before the Weber State Southern Utah game, family, friends, and former coaches and players gathered to honor Coach A. I was fortunate enough to be considered a friend, and I was part of the celebration of Coach A's life.
We have his kids here, and they're going to talk about their dad, and we know about the coach. But, Chris, talk about Ronnie Beglin, the dad.
Well, he was 2 different people, really. He was intense on the basketball floor, but he was just a great dad. I mean, as good as he was as a coach, he was a great father. And that meant everything to us.
Kent, what does it mean to see all these people that respected your dad?
Oh, pretty amazing, actually. You're not sure anybody liked him because he was maybe overcoaching him a little bit or yelling at him a little bit, but he always loved everybody and was always intense and wanted to excel in everything, but he loved to help other people excel.
And Kurt, we saw him on the sideline, storming the sideline sometimes, but it always eased the tension with a little dry joke, and he was very good at that, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, you should have heard him on the golf course, too. Of course, we can't tell some of those jokes, Rod, but, he loved golf, he loved basketball, but he just loved his friends and family, and just a great guy.
Now, I see Raisinets and Diet Coke over on the memorabilia table with all of his awards. What's that all about?
Well, those are his favorite treats, and he watched a lot of basketball tapes and videos and game tapes, and that's what he'd snack on.
Well, all these people here have had a lot of great laughs with your dad. I did one of the first newspaper interviews, articles on him when I was here at Weber State on the Signpost, and also did the last television interview with him in 2013 when they were celebrating 50 years of Weber State basketball. And we also had Dick Motta and Phil Johnson, two former Weber State coaches there. I asked him about what was his biggest moment. Of course, it was the 1999 upset in the NCAA tournament over North Carolina.
Intercepted, it's over. Weber State has pulled off the biggest upset in the first day of the NCAA tournament.
Did you know that Coach Abe Eglin is the only coach in NCAA history to beat North Carolina, big bad Tar Heels, in the first round and knock them out in the first round of the NCAA tournament?
Watched it on television.
1999.
I was excited.
Herald the show.
Well, I think all the Weber people were so dang proud of that.
Yeah. Coach Abe Eglin, talk about that year, how it was special, and just everything came together, and you were able to, as underdogs, just knock off the best in the country.
Well, I had some good players to start with, and the thing that I recognized is they were big and slow and very good, but I didn't think they could guard us. So we ran a play, we called it Orange Crunch. It was for Harold. Everybody get out of the way.
Harold
and throw the ball to Harold. And he had a great game. And then the other guys chipped in towards the end of the game, and it worked out pretty good.
All right, that was Coach Abe Eglin from 2013. And here is the only daughter of the group of boys, golfers and basketball players, Sarah, from Coach Abe Eglin. Just talk about your dad being the only girl amongst all these guys.
Yeah, I was lucky. Could never do anything wrong. I could do anything.
Really?
Yeah.
You were she was the spoiled one?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, great dad. We'll miss him a lot.
Yeah. And Phil Johnson, former Weber State coach and jazz assistant. Of course, you know Coach Abe Eglin as a basketball coach, but as a friend as well.
For many years. I was telling his family, I came really close to hiring him as my assistant when I first got the job here. He was at Morgan High School, and interviewed him, and of course I knew him well. He'd been to a lot of our practices, and he was a basketball. He had basketballs jumping out his head, and when they weren't, golf balls were. So I mean, it was he was really a great person and a very loyal person. A very good friend.
You would have to put him in the upper tier of the coaches in the history of state of Utah, don't you?
Oh, I don't think there's any question. I mean, you're talking about, if you take the body of work that he did, Morgan High School, Snow College, Weber State, I mean, there aren't many guys that have accomplished what he accomplished.
And a testament to a man's integrity both on and off the court, right here. All of his buddies and his former players and coaches coming to honor him.
And this is a nice affair. This is nice to have this here. He had the funeral, and it's nice to have people come and pay tribute to him.
But we're honoring a guy who always made us smile and laugh, didn't he?
You know, I've had a lot of opportunity to spend time with Coach A, and as a coach, he would always say, in spite of me, they won.
That's cool.
And he always had this dry sense of humor that no matter what the situation was coming out the corner of his mouth, he'd just bring out something that was golden. And spent a lot of time on a golf course with him as well. And his kid said it well. Should hear him on a golf course. He was a funny guy. You know, as much as he was intense on the court, he was just relaxed and just funny and a pleasure to be around.
And when it comes to a legacy, maybe he's underappreciated a bit, because those two NCAA tournament wins, we still talk about them today. And that's what Weber State is known for, that period of time and the excitement in the program at that time. Those wins we'll talk about them forever. he accomplished quite a bit during his time.
And he should have had a third NCAA tournament win. Allen Iverson, an air ball against Georgetown, and it was tipped in at the buzzer. Should have had a big one.
Well, the game against Florida in overtime would have made it Sweet 16. And
Coach A will be missed, and we don't underappreciate him as well. All right, well, when we come back, the $1 million fight.
Yeah, the real OC, Sean O'Connell, ends his decade-long MMA career as a champion. He and his championship belt are in studio next.
From Salt Lake City, Utah, the real OC, Sean
Flush on the nose. And I'm just surprised he's going to stand toe-to-toe with Sean. Sean's not giving him a lot of choice. He's a heavy hand. But this is the moment. Once they start throwing power shots, that's Sean O'Connell. And there are not a lot of guys on the planet that can say that.
Thank you to everyone who gave me a shot, everyone who cheered for me and laughed at my ridiculous weigh-ins. I love you all. I'm moving on. This is the last time you'll see me competing, but I'm never going to leave this sport.
No better way to go out than on top. We're excited to have the Professional Fighters League light heavyweight champion on SportsBeat, the real OC, Sean O'Connell. He defeated Vinny Magalesh to win this belt right here, and he won $1 million prize. Now, let's take a look at that belt. It's legit. It is heavy. It's the real thing.
Yeah.
You got worn out carrying this thing around after you won.
I did, yeah. We had like the press conference and the after party and all that stuff, and it's like 25 pounds. And I had already fought a grown man that night, so I was kind of tired. But it's a good problem to have, lugging this thing around.
Definitely. Well, let's talk about the fight. And what was your mental approach going into this fight? What did you feel you needed to do to beat this guy?
Well, Vinny is unbelievable on the ground. Yeah. Multiple-time world champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and most of his wins have come via submission. So you got to stay off the ground. And if you watch the fight, in the first round, he got me on the ground pretty quickly. So first round was about surviving, and then, you know, you always start every round on the feet. I knew if I could just get back to the feet, get to the second round, we'd have a little reset and a chance to do things the right way. Thankfully, I was able to do that. And then every time he would shoot in, try and get me back down to the ground, I would just disengage because even though I'm confident in my at least defensive abilities on the ground, you're playing with fire going against someone like that. So I just stayed away, punched him as much as I could, and we got the result we wanted. Yeah, I credit having really good people around me that were always supportive and always realistic about what I needed to do to be successful. So a little bit of work never scared me.
There's young fighters that are watching you. There's fans. There's just young people in general that have watched what you've done. They may be inspired by your story. What's your message to everyone out there after all you've been through?
Work is the solution to everything. Every problem out there is solved by working. Work your butt off. And if you have to pivot and do something else, that's fine. Just make sure that whatever you're doing, you're working really hard at. That's the only way I've found any success.
One of the things that I think everybody's enjoyed about your career is your sense of humor, the way you've approached things, and your weigh-ins are legendary. We look back at some of your great weigh-ins. This was my personal favorite. I don't think he was expecting this, and I don't think he was too happy about it, but this was kind of the beginning, right? So what has inspired these creative weigh-ins during your career?
Well, here's the thing. If you know that 24 hours from this moment, from the weigh-in moment, you're guaranteed to fight the guy, right? You're already going to be punching each other in the face. Why do you need to act tough? Why do you have to be a jerk? You might as well enjoy yourself and goof around and entertain the fans because the fight's happening one way or another. It's already picked. You don't have to pick a fight. So this is just kind of my personality. Don't take anything too seriously until you absolutely have to. And maybe there was some psychological advantage to people not taking it as seriously as they needed to because they thought I was goofing around.
Perhaps Bubbles is my favorite now that I was reminded of that, but they're all great. Congratulations on all of this, but especially congratulations because you're going to be a dad soon.
Yeah, that is so much scarier than any of this.
That is more intimidating than anything you've seen in a cage, right?
Yeah, we got a little girl on the way. My wife's due in May, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
There is your next adventure. Trust me, I have 4 kids. Welcome to the club.
Oh, boy. Thank you. I'm very excited, but I'm way more nervous about that than I ever was about any competition.
Hey, I understand, but you're going to do well. Sean, congratulations. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
And whatever's next, we can't wait to see it. And if there's nothing next, then you've always got this.
Yeah. If you see me wearing this around Salt Lake City, I'm not mentally ill. I'm just gloating.
And you can go to that gym and see the giant check as well.
That's right. Jeremy Horn's Elite Performance down in Sandy. If you're a young fighter, if you're someone who's just looking to get in shape, that's where you need to be.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Before we say goodnight, we have some cool stuff to show you. Some good, some not so good. This was good, though. It's all next.
Well, before we get out of here, we have some more great clips to enjoy.
Yeah, rims keep breaking in Utah high school gyms. What's up?
Great clips of the week.
Hey, this is at Kearns High School. There's a mess on the floor. A shattered backboard. We believe it was Kearns star Emmanuel Andrew, who's going to play college basketball at New Mexico. Here he is, taking the trophy home. Have you ever seen that, taking your rim home like it's a trophy?
No. West Virginia Huntington High School junior Jim at Gatwick. Behind the back dunk, Jeremiah.
It's a high school kid.
That's pretty impressive.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sure he's going to Duke or something.
Well, or something. JV basketball game between Brighton and Riverton. Game tied. Time running out. Trad Natras from half court for the win.
Oh!
Got it. Go crazy. One more look. Good for him. Yeah. See him doing that at the varsity level soon. All right, Utah Valley had a shot at a road win Saturday in Bakersfield with 4 seconds left, but don't throw the inbounds pass off the backboard. That's a turnover, and Bakersfield takes advantage.
They did make that shot.
That was Valpo beating Illinois State with the buzzer beater from half court. We got more.
Tapped out, 2 seconds, Justin Wright-Foreman at the buzzer, and Justin Wright-Foreman wins it for the Hofstra Pride.
Justin Wright-Foreman for Hofstra with the running three-pointer to beat Northeastern. Wright-Foreman finished with 41 points in this game, but the biggest three right there. All right, against the Rockets, Steph Curry, watch this. He does a James Harden step back, 3-step travel. That James Harden always gets away with that, right? So Curry goes over to the ref and says, hey, if I was wearing Harden's number 13 on my jersey, you wouldn't call that, would you? If fans can see it, players can see it, you know the refs can see it. It's a James Harden travel, but they never call it. Of course, it must be something about Houston because they never called the Elijah Shuffle back in the 90s either.
Still bitter about that.
Yeah.
You think the Ravens going to the Super Bowl?
Oh, man, no, listen. You see the enthusiasm and the motivation.
What that mean?
They're playing as a team.
So what about the Chargers? You don't think the Chargers going to be in it?
Listen, Phillip Rivers, you don't even have to worry.
Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer.
Listen, that don't make no difference. This guy's a Heisman Trophy winner.
The Uber driver in Baltimore didn't realize who his passenger was yesterday, trashing the Chargers running back Melvin Gordon, who was the passenger. How awesome is that?
Oops.
Playing along.
Warriors Klay Thompson using his head. Whoop! Literally, the pass just a little bit too hot right in the old noggin.
It makes
it look like Sean O'Connell with a shot.
Yeah. It makes us all feel better when the pros do the same thing we do every day we try to play.
Hey, this season hasn't gone very smoothly, right, for the T-Wolves? So
no.
They fired their coach today, and apparently having a jersey for your star player isn't a priority. Andrew Wiggins, a little embarrassed, forgot to put his jersey on, so he had to wait for the equipment guy to go get it for him. Huh?
Those jerseys are pretty sweet, though. The Prince look.
Yeah, they were the Prince edition.
So why would you forget to put that on? It's amazing.
Apparently it wasn't a priority. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's why the coach got fired.
Well,
for stuff like that.
If your star player doesn't remember to put your jersey on, things are not going well.
Jazz in Milwaukee, Rudy Gobert versus the Greek Freak tomorrow.
There's a big game tomorrow night, too. College football game. Alabama, Clemson. I'm not sure what it's about.
Yeah.
But
I pick Clemson. I'll pick Clemson.
I'm supposed to show highlights tomorrow night at 10. So
watch that.